Hi, it's Darnell with Wave of Recipes. Today I'm going to be cooking up some oat flour chocolate chip cookies. And I'm going to be using the Oster extra large digital air fry oven for that. I'm going to be making that oat flour here at home from straight up oats, and I'll show you how to do that. And so this will be like an alternative flour type of dessert recipe, and we'll see how that turns out in this cooker. And let's get cooking right now. Alright, so what I have here in the food chopper are 2 cups of organic oats. And these are oats. This is not oatmeal that's in here, it's oats. And so I'm going to be chopping it up to get it fine like a flour. I like to say that the key is to get it fine like a flour but not go too far and then things get all clumpy. So I'm going to just basically start chopping this till it gets to a flour type of consistency. Alright, I think I've done the best that I can as far as getting it to a floury type of consistency, or as close to that as I can. I don't want to go too far with it and make it all clumpy. It's starting to clump a little bit now, but see how that is. Of course, you could just buy oat flour if you wanted to buy oat flour and use oat flour, but I just so happen to have a lot of oats on hand, so I just wanted to make my own oat flour with them. So we got oat flour now, 2 cups. I'm going to go ahead and get the other ingredients. I do know after you chop it up, what was 2 cups could be a little more with air in between the particles, but we'll go ahead and use it. I'm going to get the other ingredients. So I've got a lot of ingredients to go over here. I've got the oat flour that was made. I've got 3/4 cup of dark chocolate chips here. These are 85% cacao dark chocolate chips. Got 2 tablespoons of a granulated sweetener. That's a erythritol monk fruit blend, but we use whatever suits you as far as granulated sweetener is concerned. Got 1 teaspoon of guar gum, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. For wet ingredients, I've got 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Got 2 large chicken eggs here. I'm going to be using a couple tablespoons of honey, and I've got 1 stick of melted butter here, so I'll be using that as well. And so I'm going to go ahead and mix the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients each into these separate bowls. So I've got the wet and dry ingredients in respective bowls. I've turned the light off because you'll need to be able to see the cooker in a moment when I do the settings for the cooker. But I've got the bake pan here sprayed with some extra light olive oil. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the wet ingredients into the dry bowl and make my cookie dough. So I've got the cookie dough all mixed up, and so now I'm going to basically put out about a dozen, well, Lord willing, a dozen cookies here on the bake pan. So just going to go ahead and get those put out. And you want to try and just form your cookie shape as best you can as you put them on, because things may not, I guess, fall down and apart into like cookies like that store-bought type of cookie dough that you get for those store-bought dough cookies. This might work a little differently and usually does. So you want to try and form your cookie shape as best you can in advance. So I'll just get the rest of these set out. Alright, so I've got a dozen cookies here on the bake pan. So now I'm going to go ahead and warm the cooker up and hit bake. Bring the cook time down to 20 minutes. And I think that's all I'll need, Lord willing. Hit start. Get them on in there once the preheat's done. Got a rack on the middle rack level. Alright, preheat is done. Get them on in. I don't think I'm going to spin them at all. Sometimes things are okay without spinning in this cooker. Not too bad in the back. Maybe a little more, but not too much. I'm going to let them go ahead and cook. I'll bring you back. Alright, so I've let these go for 17 minutes, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to check. I think they're done. The cooker has no pause, so I just have to basically go in and feel them, but they look good to me. So just going in and just, yeah, they feel done, they feel firm. So there we go. I'm going to let them cool. Alright, so I've given things some time to cool down, and so I'm going to go ahead and get a couple of these cookies off of here and put them on the plate here. So I guess I'll just get this one coming off real easy. So you see the bottom. Bottom looks nice to me. You can tell me what you think. That's the top. I guess without using a spatula, I'll get another. So there we go. That's the, let's see, get my hand out the way. There's the other side. You see they're holding together pretty good. They're not falling apart. That's always a plus. So let's go ahead and do a taste test. So thank God for some oat flour chocolate chip cookies. Let's go ahead and do a taste. Okay, could definitely use some water. You know, oats soak in a lot of water, so. But it tastes good. Turned out good. I'm gonna get some water. Hold on. Okay. It tastes good, but you definitely want some water. You know, oats, like I said, soak in some water. But it turned out good. So you can have oat flour chocolate chip cookies if you want to use like oat flour to make cookies. You can do that. And I just showed you here in the cooker. This cooker here did a pretty good job with it. So another idea, if you want to do something that's alternative flour, that's another way that you can do it, and it turns out well. So basically in the video description there'll be a link to the full recipe so that you have that if you didn't get it on screen already. Also, lots of ways to help the channel in the video description, such as my cookbook, merch, membership, donations, link to the blog superwaveovenrecipes.com, lots of nice things there. So, with all that said, if you did like the video, please do give it a thumbs up, share the video with a friend, leave your comments, subscribe, hit that notification icon, and good eating.